So today is March the 14th on a good day, and we're just reviewing for tomorrow's test. They have started this review, and now we're going to go over some answers, and I'm just going to point out some stuff that I do. You don't have to do it, but it's just if it'll help you. Okay, so number one said, information, often numerical, which is gathered for statistical purposes, is data. When I see data, I think of information. Data is a bunch of numbers, numerical. That's why I kind of highlighted those. You don't have to, but I'm begging, like, if you definitely don't know that, maybe one of those words will help you. Those words will be there tomorrow. Like, I'm trying to give you hints. Okay. Uh-huh.
Is this going to be word for word on the test tomorrow?
Close. Very close. Very close. Very close. Number 2. Okay. On number 2. The sentence says, anticipates and accounts for a variety of answers. I just keep saying this. If I get an answer, I had to start with a question. That's why I know that they go together. But I'm going to give you a bigger hint. Tomorrow, this is what it says. A question that anticipates and accounts for a variety of answers. It has those 3 words before all that. Hint, hint. So, you should be able to match question up with statistical question. Hint, hint. Okay? We just didn't put those 3 words for some reason on here. But I kind of say answers go with questions. Whatever works for you. Okay, number 3. It says, whoops. Okay, range. Range is the difference between the greatest and least values of a set of data. I know with range we subtract. When I see the word difference, difference jumps out to me and says, hey, put a subtraction sign. Greatest number from the least number. We're subtracting those 2 words. The math related with subtracting those 2 words has been range. The cowboy goes out on the range. And like I said, I got goofy stuff, but here's my issue. And I'll even say it with a video recording. Every year the vocab brings down a lot of kids' grades. Usually I've just given it to them. I've not done this little study session and highlighting and telling you little minus and underline signs. But I'm hoping that this helps somebody make a better grade tomorrow. Okay? Just trying. I'm trying. Okay, number 4. A value that is much higher or much lower than the other values is called an outlier. It's way over here. It's way over there. It sticks out from the crowd. It is an outlier. Good so far? Okay. I mean, honestly, does this help y'all a little bit? Some of you who may not have looked at it, maybe? Okay, give me a vote of confidence. Every other class has been like, yeah! Okay, I know I'm recording, but it's okay. We're not going to, it's okay. Okay, mode. I keep saying, mode means most. Notice, they're both there. Notice that word is there. Mode means most. They both start with MO. It is the number that occurs the most often. Repeats the most. Mode means most. Good. Okay. 6. Attribute. Okay. The attribute tells you what the data is about in a chart or graph. The attribute, I've just kind of had to memorize that it's the title. It is the title to the graph. So if the whole graph is about how much pizza kids eat, then the attribute is pizza kids eat. It's the title. I see that attribute has a bunch of T's that go with title. Another key word that you might want to do is it means what? What is it about? Okay, and I'm going to show you a hint later about the word attribute and the word what on the paper. Later, I'll show you. Okay, everybody good so far? We got 7. Okay, this one is the middle number of the ordered data, or mean of the middle. 2 numbers is called the median. Notice how many times middle's in there in median? Like, we know median means middle. Okay, everybody good on that one? Okay, number 8. Measures of variation describe the distribution of data. Here's some hints. I know variation, kind of like if I vary your papers, it's kind of like I'm passing them out, I'm distributing them. Okay, this is how Miss Donahue's brain works, and y'all, I was not a straight A student. I would look at this sentence when I was y'all's age, and I would say, you know what? That's a really long word. And it goes with that. Really long word. What else do you see about those 2 words? They end, yeah. Like, do y'all see that they end in chun, I guess? T-I-O-N, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's the kind of tricks that I was lucky enough, like, I had a parent sitting there going, hey, we'll put this with this. And I would sit there and study that way. But if you're not seeing these things, like, this is how you study, kind of. It's not great, but if you got to do it this way, do it. I especially had to do it in science and history. I had to do it. If you had a bunch of words in science and history, I was sitting there finding all kinds of tricks to get them memorized. Okay, so does that help that one? A little bit? Okay. Quartiles. Values that divide the data in 4 equal groups. Okay, quartiles mean quarters. 25 cents. Quarters. How many quarters are in $1? 4. Look at the number 4. There's 4 quarters. 4 quartiles. 4 quartiles. Okay. Yeah, like quartiles, quarters. I'm like, and it's kind of like this is 7th period, so I do start getting even more silly, I guess. Sorry. Okay, collecting, organizing, and interpreting data is a process referred to as statistics. Okay, if you collect it, you organize it. We did mean, median, mode, all that good stuff. We read it. We figure out one's bigger than the other and all that. It is called statistics. We've been doing it for 2 weeks. It's a process. I really don't have a trick for memorizing that one except for it's just the unit we're studying right now. I don't really have a trick for that one. Sorry, probably let you down. Okay, number 11, measure of central tendency. Center, describes the center of data using one of the 3 calculations, meaning like median or mean. Center and central. I find it interesting because not all of you are writing this down. I don't know. Okay, 12, mean. So I'm looking at it. It says is the sum of the data divided by the number of pieces of data. I think sum is addition. I think divided by means a division sign. So what math did we add and divide? Mean. If you want to draw little add and divide signs tomorrow, I don't care. That's fine. And you'll have a word bank. You'll have a word bank. So, okay. 13, lower quartile. It is the median of the lower half of the data. Okay. We honestly just forgot upper quartile. Like, we should have done that one, but we just forgot it. No. Try to put the whole word for me. Please. I've had to say it in every class. Please. Okay. Number 14. Okay. The difference. Notice I have a subtraction sign between the lower and the upper quartile. So I take my upper, I subtract my lower. It gives me my IQR, my interquartile range. IQR, we know we subtract UQ minus LQ. If that'll help you at all. IQR. Okay. 15. We have mean absolute deviation. Okay, this is kind of silly, but I know when we taught absolute value had the double bars, and it always meant distance. How far is something from somewhere else? So I see the word distance, okay? But I'll be honest, in the last few hours, I've figured out distance. There's a D in deviation. Like the D and the D. That could help a little bit, okay? The last thing is, some kids said, but Miss Donahue, it says mean down there. And it says mean up here. And I was like, oh, okay. Little stuff. Like, we all learn different ways. And it's just trying to figure out how you learn. Like, that's what I'm here for, is trying to help you out. Braden.
I remember my, when you said, like, no sentences.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember, like, we put the distance between the lower and the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's the whole thing with this math. Like, last week when I gave you this vocab, it was like, bleh. Like, you don't understand it. But now that we've done a lot of it, you're like, oh, like, it makes more sense now. Like, range. It makes more sense now. You're just subtracting. You're getting a difference. And it takes a minute to kind of think about the definitions. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is just look at 16, 17, and 18. Just take a second. Just take a minute. I'm going to kind of pause it. I want you to literally read it and try it. Shh, don't tell me out loud. Let everybody try it. Let's see if that works. Okay, so number 16. What you got? I got it. Easy. Yes. Outlier. Yes. That 23 is sticking way out past the rest. One thing. Always check these and make sure they're in order first. But yes, 23 is an outlier. Okay. Braden, number 17. Median. Yes, guys, if you literally took this and drew a line right there, and you counted that side and that side, they're even. Like, it is an exact amount on each side. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, let's see. Yes. This one's kind of like, here's my thing I want you to know about these arrow questions. The arrow's pointing to a specific number. And you can literally watch what I'm doing. If you wanted to sit here and see if this person is really doing the median, I give up. Okay, look right here real quick. These are in order. My first thing this morning was I thought they weren't in order. So right here I wrote them all out. I'm like, oh, okay. So I find the median. And you can draw on yours tomorrow. Like, I don't care. There's my median. Does everybody agree? It is the middle number. Okay. So all these create the LQ. All these create the UQ. That is why it is the LQ. Like, we didn't just guess at it. Don't guess tomorrow. Like, figure it out. Yes?
I put outlier because I thought it was 15 over 15.
I know. My brain this morning when I did this, the first thing I jumped on was outlier. I then thought, oh, they're not in order. I mean, I've even got a copy of it. I rewrote it right here. And I was like, oh, man, they're in order. Like, I'm losing my mind. But it was like 5:30 in the morning, so there's a real reason. Okay, once I did that, I then circled the median. And then I started figuring it out. So tomorrow, they won't be in this order and stuff. So, it looks the same tomorrow because it's a set of numbers and some words. But make sure you figure out each one. And if you need to draw on it, do it. Who cares? Good to go? Okay. Well, you flip it over on the back now. Now, kind of skip the top for a minute. Let's just talk. 17 down. Okay, this is back when we were doing statistical or non-statistical. Okay, we got to write one or the other. Here we go. So on number 17, what is each student's birthday at TSGC? Statistical, yes, because there's a bunch of different answers. Everybody's got different answers. Maybe a few of us have the same, but most people have different. Okay, that's an easy one. Okay, number 18. How many classes does each student take at TSGC? Non-statistical. One second, I'm spelling it wrong. Okay, because if I walked around and even asked every kid, wait a minute, I spelled that right. I can't talk and spell that, okay. We each have 8. So each kid has 8 classes. That's why. Okay, the next one, I'm kind of on the, I don't love it. Tomorrow's is better than this, a lot better. Okay, who do you have for math? Non-statistical. Because you would only be asking, you'd only be asking one person. I'll be honest, tomorrow they are very, there's no question about it. Some classes I've even said this was statistical. Because if I walked around to every kid in this school and asked them, how many different teachers would there be? They could have 3 different answers, right? So, but tomorrow's are just easy breezy, promise. Okay, let's look at the bottom. This is the part we had on our, the little study thing from last week. But listen, here's that hint I was talking about with attribute. Do you remember the weird word attribute that we can't remember? Okay, look right here. The attribute is the what it is about. It is the what it is about. So, if I look at this chart, what is the attribute? Time used to get ready. Yes, time used to get ready. Okay. Unit of measure. What kind of math are they using? Minutes. I know it's a weird word, but they're talking minutes. They're using that because it's the measurement. Okay. Think for a second. Okay, I need an object. What do you measure minutes with? Say it.
Stopwatch.
I'll take all those. Good. Okay, watch, clock, stopwatch. Okay. Anything like that. Timer. We have cooking timers and stuff like that. I've just had some kids tell me seconds or minutes and I'm like, no, okay, I need an object on that. What measures it? Okay, a number of observations, 6, because there's 6 pieces of data. You're going to have to count your data tomorrow. Okay. Now, will you please be working, I'm going to kind of hit pause for a second, be working on the top 2, just what it asks for on 19, and then what it asks for on 20. Be working on it, okay? In just a second, if you are a little nervous about all those bars, I have got the bars written out right there. We should be able to figure those out. But just in case you're a little nervous, I'm going to hit pause. I want y'all to work on it. I'm going to give you a few minutes. Seriously, a few minutes. So now I'm going to kind of show the answers for these last 2. Let's see. It's in here somewhere. Okay. So starting out with this first one. There we go. Okay. Straighten it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I found the mean I got 260 divided by 6, so I got 43.3. The median was in between these. I had to add them and divide by 2 to get 37. There was no mode, nothing repeated more than anything else. My range was 75 minus 21, which is 54. And my MAD, I took my mean and I subtracted it from each piece of data. I then added them all up and got 92.6 divided by 6 because there's 6 pieces of data and got 15.4. Show me all that work tomorrow. It might help you get some partial credit. Okay. On the one below it, I'll kind of move it up, shrink it over a little bit. Okay. I got a mean of 5.3. I had to round it. It was 5.25. Trying to show it, but I'm going to go down here real quick. It was 5.25, and the 5 told me to round it up to a 3. Okay, I got a median of 5. It's right in the middle. If you missed one number in that list, it obviously is going to mess you up. Okay, I got a mode. Please look at this mode. There are 4 modes because those repeated twice and nothing repeated more than twice. The range is 10 minus 1, which is 9. The LQ was 3. The UQ, 7.5. So the IQR, this minus that, 4.5. No outlier. Okay? Please take this in practice tonight and study the vocab. Okay? Please study the vocab. If you are needing the exact definitions, to be honest, they're on the front of that worksheet that you're holding, the review sheet. But if you are dying to see them, these were the ones I gave you at school the last few weeks, last week and this week. Okay, but the review sheet is probably the best thing to study at this point. Okay, tomorrow, 100 boys out.
Give her stuff. She need a walk.